Hello, everybody. Hello, it's good to see all of you. So, how are you doing? As always, you can say about that in the comments. I would really appreciate it. So, please do it, leave your comments, and I think we can get started. So, today we have a very important topic, and also it's a pretty difficult one. So, I want you to be serious and to learn as much as possible out of that, because like I said before, this topic matters. So today we speak about state and society. So держава та суспільство. It's everything related to us, the government, and how people interact with the government in all the spheres. And also, not less important grammar topic, we are going to speak about modal verbs and different ways of using them. So I think we can get started. So please get prepared and we begin. And first of all, I want you to look at the pictures and tell me what famous thing is depicted on picture A. What is that? So what is that on the first picture? If any ideas, in the comments, please. Yeah, so that's a Statue of Liberty. I hope it's not a secret to you. And right now, I suggest we have a look at the second picture. So there I already gave you the first letter. What might it be? Like a group of people put together. What do we call them? What are these people? Again, your ideas in the comments, please. So again, any comments, they would be really appreciated. Okay, and that is assembly. So the group of people together can be called an assembly. Yeah, that's correct. Okay, so here we can see some sentences where these words are used in the context. For example, the first one, the American Constitution protects religious liberty. How do you understand this religious liberty? What is that? Who can give me the translation? Again, in the comments, please. Okay, so religious liberty is свобода віросповідання. And what about the second one, the freedom of assembly? What freedom is that? The freedom of assembly. So the freedom of assembly is право на вільне зібрання, like the groups of people who can stay together, yeah, group together in order to express some of their willings, desires, and so on. So that would be the freedom of assembly. As you see from here, we will work right now with the topic about our rights and liberties, права та свободи. So here, I suggest we focus even on more words, so you have the definitions of the words from 1 to 10. First of all, try to match them as you think they should be. If you have any words which are unfamiliar to you, please write that word with a question mark. I'll try to answer. So please, I'm waiting for your comments. What is rights? What are rights, to be correct? Okay, so we can see the answer that writes it's about A, something that you're allowed to do. Що ще нам дозволено робити? Those are rights. Yes, absolutely correct. And what about number 2? Doubt. So what is a doubt? Again, any ideas? In the comments, please. Okay, so doubts are a feeling of being not sure whether something is right. Сумніви. So when you are in doubts, ми сумніваємося. To be in doubts. Сумніватися. Бути в сумнівах, нібито. Okay, number 3. What's number 3? Innocent. Okay, so the innocent is not guilty, невинний. So, if you didn't do any crime, you're an innocent person. Okay, number 4, what is law? So it should be easy, please. What is law? Okay, so law is the system of rules that people must obey. So basically that is закон. Law is закон in general and one particular as well. So, but mostly law is general present of it. Okay, what is guilty? What does it mean? Again, any ideas? Okay, I can see some answers. So guilty is G, having committed a crime. Тобто вчинення злочину. When you did something wrong, you're guilty, винний. So we have innocent, невинний, and guilty, винний. Okay, very, very good. So what about number 6? Number 6, please. Okay, again, some answers. So prove, think better, yeah. It's I. Information that proves something is true. Докази. So proof, доказ. I need some proofs that you're innocent. Мені потрібні докази, що ти невинний. So proof is I. Okay, number 7. Judgment. What is judgment? Number 7 again. Okay, it's not B. So judgment is D, an opinion that you form after thinking about something. Судження. So, sometimes people could be very judgmental. Ті, що люблять осуджувати. Are you a judgmental person? I hope you are not. So judgment is судження, about something, like making your opinion. Okay, number 8, counsel. Okay, I already see some answers. So counsel, number 8, and that is J, a lawyer. So sometimes we can say a lawyer, or I need to call to my counsel. Своєму адвокату, своєму юристу. So that might be 2 words. Okay, number 9, censorship. Yeah, that's B, a ban. So you know that, for example, in some countries, some literature or some internet channels or some TV channels could be censored, like not allowed to watch, listen, hear, and so on. So censorship, цензура. Okay, and number 10, conscience. What is that? Number 10. Again, your ideas? but I think it's obvious, so it's C. The part of your mind that tells you whether what you are doing is right or wrong. It's like совесть. So you may have conscience people and no. Okay, good job. So now let's keep working, and here in two texts you have to put these words into the right places. So thank you. Okay, so if you need to go urgently, you can watch it as a recording later on, but thank you for telling me. So, about fundamental human rights. The US Declaration of Independence, Декларація про незалежність, sets out basic human rights in these words. And there are these words. We hold that all men are created. What should be said here? We hold that all men are created. No, it's not man who created something, it's passive voice. Equal. Yes, exactly, Славочка. So, all men, всі люди, створені рівними. That they are endowed by their creator with certain, наділені їхнім творцем, certain. Number 2, mention numbers, so I can track your answers. Certain rights, певними правами. That among these are life, з-поміж них такі, як життя, or право на життя, what else? Liberty, свобода, yes, and the pursuit of happiness, yeah, і прагнення до щастя. Yeah, that's absolutely right. Very good. Okay, speaking of civil liberties, like свободи, so we have some rights, права, and liberties, свободи. Civil liberties include, громадянські свободи включають freedom of something, which means the right to express opinions freely. So what type of freedom is it? Freedom of speech, свобода слова, which means the right to express opinions freely without what? Without censorship, number 6. Тобто висловлюватися вільно, без цензури. I guess Ukrainian constitution claims the same, right? Okay, number 7, freedom of, again, something, which means the right to hold any moral or religious views. Freedom of what? Yeah. Freedom of conscience. Good. And number 8, freedom of and association, which means the right to gather in public places and to form organizations. So what freedom is that? Freedom of assembly, yeah, like the right to group together with other people, yeah, and express your views or maybe share common interests. That correct? Good job. Let's keep moving. So now we have another block of this document, the rule of law, верховенство закону, the rule of law. So what should we put here? The rule of law, in England says, no free man shall be taken or imprisoned or any otherwise destroyed but by lawful of his peers. So your ideas about number 1? Lawful judgment, yeah. Or by the number 2. Or by the law of the land, yeah. So, людина може бути taken or imprisoned, like затримана або ув'язнена, лише за правомірним судженням or за законами цих територій, цих земель. Okay, very good. So, the US Constitution guarantees that no person shall be deprived of life. Deprive, it's like забирати. Тобто ніхто не може бути позбавлений життя, liberty, свобод, or property, власності, without due process of law. Yeah, good. Okay, let's keep moving. So, the accused, the rights of accused, права звинувачених, accused, звинувачених. The accused is presumed innocent, вважається невиновним, presumed innocent, until proven guilty, поки не доведено, що він винний. Тобто вважається невинним, поки не доведено винний. Презумпція невиновності, If members of a jury have some doubts, сумніви, about a person's guilt, they are obliged, зобов'язані, to deliver a verdict, винести вердикт, not guilty. Okay, very good. And the last block. So, a person accused of a crime, звинувачена у злочині, has the right to a fair something. Trial має право на справедливий суд. Trial – суд, судовий процес. He cannot be forced to be against himself. To be a witness – свідчити or бути свідком проти себе самого. He has the right to be represented by counsel or by a lawyer, right? Тобто має право на адвоката. Okay, I hope that was clear. And now let's keep moving. So, another part of state and society topic is about money. So, here I've collected some pictures which represent different money things. Your task is to guess what is what. So, number one, what's number one? Yeah, that's a coin, moneta, coin. Okay, number two. Receipt. Good. So, do not mix it up with recipe. Recipe, recept, strawy, and receipt, it's like check that you receive after paying for something, for example, at the supermarket. Yeah, so it's a receipt. Number three, banknote. You're super fast today. Yeah, okay. So, paper money, typically banknotes. Number four, ATM. Bankomat, ATM. Okay, number five, when we refer to money which are not on the card, we call it cash, right? Готівка, cash. And number six would be a debit card, or sometimes it might be a credit card, depending on its properties. Yeah, very good. Or in general, like card. Okay, seems all right here. So let's keep moving to something more difficult. When we speak about economy, like ekonomika, we have two similar words, but they are different in meaning. So, economical and economic. Let's guess what is what. A. We have enjoyed a period of steady economical or economic growth. So, okay, that would be economic growth, економічне зростання, and in B, as you said, it's economical, like економний. So, not spending too much of some resource, So, again, economic, економічний, referring to the science of economy, до науки економіки, and economical, економний, so something like using not much of some resource. Okay, very good. So let's keep moving. And here we have even more crazy words with the same root, зі спільним коренем. So you need to guess what is what. Number one, we are facing a worldwide crisis. Ми стикаємося зі світовою, кризою. So what type of crisis is that? Think better. It should be maybe some adjective, no? So number 1, економічна криза. Economic crisis. Yeah, as we just saw at the previous slide, if it refers to economy, до економіки in general, it's economic. Number 2, the country's something is in the worst condition since the Great Depression. Country's what? Economy, economica. So here we have the noun. Yeah, very good. Number 3, The Wealth of Nations is a classic book by the 18th century Scottish economist. I don't think I have to translate it. Adam Smith. Yeah. So the person who studies it as a subject is an economist. And what is it? You will tell me. So this is not a very solution. It would cost a lot more than the alternatives. So what type of solution? Not very economical, не дуже економне рішення. Yeah? Okay. Number 5, my sister intends to study something at university. Be careful. Number 5, economics. So again, pay attention. We have 2 nouns here. Economy, економіка країни, or of some region. And we have economics, the science that studies all those financial processes. Okay, very good. And the 6th, in the light of current crisis, we'll have to economize, economete. So like to save more than spend, you know? We can no longer afford this huge spending. Okay, very good. So try to remember them. If needed, you may write some translations, but it's better to understand the difference because economy, economica, as the situation in the country, yeah, all the processes, and economics is a science that you would study. Okay, yeah, I understand. But that's why you can rewatch this video later on and take all the needed notes afterwards. For now, let's keep moving. So, speaking of money, we have more confusing words. For example, borrow, lend, loan, owe. So, as you can see from the picture, if you lend something, you give it to another person, hoping that it would be returned. And if you borrow, you take it from another person, again, hoping to return it in the future. So, let's try to guess. The bank, you $10,000. So, what did the bank do? And mention the correct tense. Lend, lent, lent. So, the third and the second form would be with T. The bank lent, позичив, or we can use loan as a verb loaned, видав позику. Yeah, $10,000. And now you owe the bank, and і тепер ми винні банку this sum of money. Okay, number 2 or letter B, could I borrow your car? So yeah, we can say could I take your car? And that would be more day-to-day speech. But if we speak about especially money and especially in some formal way, you'd rather say borrow because that means you're going to return it. And letter C, could you lend me your car? Yeah, absolutely right. So I hope we dealt with that. Good job. Now, some more confusing words. So, income, salary, wage. All of them are about money that some person receives. But what's the difference? Let's try. Most of the new jobs in the area only pay the minimum. So number 1, Diana says salary, but is it so? Darina says salary. Minimum wage. We'll discuss it. So here it's like минимальна ставка. Wage is typically the payment for very specific amount of work. For example, let's say that you may have schedule when one day you work 8 hours, another day you work 10 hours, and the third day you have only 4-hour day of work. How to calculate your salary, meaning the money you will receive eventually at the end of the month? There is some wage, like stavka, that you get per hour of your work. And then, like multiplying that wage for the number of hours you spent working, we can get your salary. So wage is stavka, like the sum of money you receive per working for some specific amount of time. Okay, number 2. She's now earning a good salary as an interpreter. By the way, interpreter – перекладач, yeah? And a good salary – хороша заробітна плата. So typically salary is something you receive after working for some amount of time, typically months. So usually when we speak about salary, it's like monthly salary, місячна зарплата. And letter C, the properties he rented out provided him with an income. So property, it's like приватна власність, something he owns, володіє. He rented out, він здавав в оренду, yeah? Provided him with an income, забезпечили його доходом. So what is income? You don't necessarily work to get your income. So income is any money you receive from any sources. For example, your salary is a part of your income. But for example, if you also study at university and receive scholarship, stipendium, it's still a part of your income. If you rent some apartment, здаєте якусь квартиру в оренду, it's still a part of your income. If you decided to sell something, for example, on OLX or whatever, it's still the part of your income. So any money that you receive would be income, not necessarily you work for them. Thank you, Angela. It's дохід. Good. Okay, I can see some answers for 3. So 2 jobs. It's number 1. Sorry, I spoiled it a little bit. Number 2, or letter B. Some friends from work. Then I can't access Facebook when I'm at work, and her acting career lasted for more than 50 years. So what's the difference? Let's figure it out. When we refer to the word job, it's typically some specific position, specific type of work you do with some fixed description of duties, responsibilities, and with some amount of money you receive for it. So job, it's like робота in terms of what you do. For example, what's your job? I'm a teacher. What's his job? Let's say he's a doctor. So those are jobs. When we say job, we clearly know what the person's responsibilities are. Yeah, we know who they are. When we refer to the word work, it's more about 2 meanings. So it can be just things that need to be done. For example, oh my God, today I have a lot of work. It could be work around the house, in the garden. It could be your homework, still work, right? And also, when we refer to work, it's the place where we spend our time working. So, sorry, I'm not at home, I'm at work. На роботі, meaning at that place, being busy with some stuff. Or friends from work, again, friends from the place where I work, like that. And when we speak about career, it's different from job, from the perspective of perspective, I would say. Тобто, з точки зору перспектив, career is something that can grow, change, and develop. Yeah, so for example, you were just an intern, then you became junior position, then you became middle position, and then you grow up to some senior positions at your company. So that is your career, like some grow. Okay, I hope that's clear. Let's keep moving. So another subtopic of today's lesson is crime. So look at the picture. tell me what crime it is. So what crime is it? I'm waiting for your comments. Really want to see some. Yeah, yes, correct, Diana. It's arson. So arson, it's when you set something to fire deliberately, навмисно, умисно. So you wanted to do it and you did it, and then it's an arson. Okay, then here I have even more words to match with their definitions, but not definitions. We have the headlines of newspapers, which are going to speak about some crime. Your task is to guess what crime it is about. So, number 1, thieves, грабіжники, вори, break into TV celebrity's house. So, when they break into the house. Підпал. Yes, Angela. Okay. But here it's not that, so what is A? Thieves break into TV celebrity's house. Yep. Okay, so we should go vice versa from 1. Okay, arson is C. Mentally unstable man sets fire to supermarket. Okay, yeah. So then burglary, as you answered, would be A. Right. So burglary, it's пограбування, especially when someone comes to the place, to someone's private property, and steals something. Okay, then we have the word blackmail. So what is blackmail? And you say it's E. Yeah, exactly. So when we blackmail, it's like шантажуємо. So we threat to another person in order to receive something we want. It's blackmail. Okay, mugging. Number 4, mugging. Okay, I can see some answers. And that is B. Yeah, Jeremy Smith was robbed in the street outside his school yesterday. So mugging, it's again something like пограбування, but typically happening in the public place, like here in the street. Тобто, якщо хтось вихопив вашу сумочку і побіг, it would be mugging. And for burglary, they should enter your house and steal something there. Yeah, so they are kind of similar because in both cases something is stolen, but with burglary, they enter your house. For mugging, they meet you in the streets, sometimes threatening you, like give me your phone or you will be hurt. And then you, I don't know, call the police and they show up. Number 5, hijacking. What could it be? Okay, that's D, plane seized by terrorists. Літак захоплений терористами. So hijacking, it's like taking control over some big transport. It could be like a lorry with some precious things in it, or it could be a plane that you need to move somewhere and so on. So yeah, hijacking is like stealing or taking control over big transport. 6, treason. International spy goes on trial for selling nuclear secrets. Yeah, so treason, it's зрада, like державна зрада. So it's something very serious when you take your country's secrets and sell them, give them to some enemies of your country. Okay, yes, Angela, thank you. And bribery, what is bribery? I think it should be easy. That's F. Apparently, the contract was awarded to Green Scam in exchange for $1 million in cash. So that is, what is bribery? Хабарництво. Коли ми даємо хабара in order to get something, that's a bribery. Okay, and here, apart from all those words, I have one more that might be a bit confusing. So we have burglary, we have mugging, and also we have robbery. robbery. So, what's the difference between burglary and robbery? Who can tell me? So, burglary and robbery, any ideas? Waiting for your explanations. Okay, I will start explaining. If you're writing, I'll just praise you there. So, I give you the situation, you listen carefully, and you tell me, does it look to you like burglary or robbery? So, let's imagine a girl named Angela. She went on holidays, she had a vacation, and when she came back home, she noticed that the window of her house was broken, and the money and jewelry disappeared. So was it burglary or robbery? Okay, so I see very good ideas in the comments. And the one that I described, burglary or robbery? Like she returned home from the vacation and noticed that the window was broken and the jewelry were taken. Okay, so that was burglary. And now I have another situation. Listen carefully. So, Jack woke up in the middle of the night and went to the kitchen to drink water. And there, in the hall, he met another man in a black mask. So the man hit Jack on the head and then stole his money from the safe. And that was the robbery. So what's the difference? They both entered the houses, they both took some property. What was different? It's about interacting, if we can say so, with the victim. So when it's burglary, usually everything happens silently, not noticed. But if it's a robbery, there are victims, and the robber, грабіжник, whether threatens the victims, погрожує, or even can hurt those victims. So, that's the difference. Пограбування зі взломом, коли людина просто заходить вночі і бере, is burglary, but when the thief was noticed, грабіжник був помічений, and when he hurt or threatened the people, погрожував людям, it's robbery. So now you know. Okay, good job, and let's keep moving. By the way, your ideas are very good, but both of them is about, stealing something. Okay, now here I have even more things about those confusing words. So, somebody took my laptop and cell phone. Who was that? Not everything. So you can try guessing. Who took my laptop and cell phone? Okay. The thief. So just remember, rob is not a person. It could be a name, but it's a verb, to rob. Грабувати. So the thief, грабіжник. Yeah, грабіжник, крадій, вор. Call them wherever you want. So the person who takes what is not theirs would be a thief. In any meaning, in any level of difficulty, you can call them a thief. Number 2, my favorite pizza shop was stolen, викрадений. No, it was robbed, пограбований. So when you steal something, you take it completely. It's really hard to take the pizza shop completely, yeah? So it was robbed, пограбований. Luckily, no one was hurt. And number 2, the thief stole, викрав. a gold necklace from the woman's bedroom, so he took it completely, right? So again, robbing is like entering, taking. Stealing is just taking. And now we have two more words, incident and accident. If a drunk driver runs his car into a group of people, that's what? That's an accident. Yeah, нещасний випадок. Like a very serious, bad situation. And number two, if some troublemaking teenagers throw rocks at the house and break its windows, that's an incident, like incident, some unpleasant situation, you know? So accident is something really terrible, while incident is something like not really good situation. Anna, the difference between what? Rob, thief, steal, or incident, accident? Let me know, like one or two, and I'll explain. So, we can start moving. Anna, just tell me, what should I explain? Number one. So, to rob, грабувати, so to enter someplace. Yeah? For example, you can rob a bank, you can rob a shop, пограбувати магазин, bank, and so on. But you can steal something from that bank or something, some shop. For example, the thieves entered the shop and they robbed it, they robbed a shop stealing money, тобто пограбували магазин, викрадаючи гроші. Or jewelry. And when we say thief, it's a person. So, to rob, пограбувати, someplace, to steal, to take something from that place or from someone. And I hope it's clear. Okay, and meanwhile, I already can see some prepositions. Anna, have I explained it to you? So, the man was arrested for being drunk in a public place. That's right. Okay, заарештований за перебування в п'яному вигляді. Number two, the assistant was suspected of, підозрюваний в чомусь, suspected of, passing on confidential information, переданні конфіденційної інформації. Okay, number three, the student was accused, be careful, number three, accused of, звинувачений в чомусь, again, accused of plagiarism, like copying someone's work. Number four, the three men were charged with armed robbery. So charge with, звинуватити в чомусь, висунути обвинувачення в чомусь. Charge with something. Okay, number five, please guys, плагіат, thank you, Vadim. Number five, mention the letters, mention the numbers because I get confused. So the driver who caused the accident was found guilty of manslaughter. So again, we have of. Pay attention when we speak about підозрюваний, звинувачений, винний. All of that would be of some crime. He was also disqualified from driving. Disqualified, дискваліфікований. So he cannot drive anymore. Disqualified from. All right, and number six, the bank robber, грабіжник банку, was sentenced. It's like приговорений, like йому був винесений вирок. Sentenced to 10 years imprisonment. До ув'язнення на 10 років. For threatening the cashier with a shotgun. За погрози касиру зі зброєю. Okay, so again, look at the text. If any words that I haven't translated for you are still difficult, please feel free to ask, like the word and the question mark, I will explain. Otherwise, let's keep moving. We still have a lot of things to do. But here, as always, I've tried I've collected all those words in the Quizlet, like everything that we worked with today. So scan the QR code or find the link and you can check those words later. Okay, Diana, I got about prepositions. I know some resource that I can advise you. So we'll figure it out. Maybe even today I will add the link to the comments under this session. And now we keep moving. So here, I think we will skip the reading part because that might be quite easy to you and you can do it individually, I'm pretty sure. But for now, I have a feeling that we should move to modal verbs. So let's do it, please. Here, you have the list of different modals and some of their substitutes. What you need to do is to guess the right ones. So, look here. We have a worried mom and his son playing with his friend, but the mom doesn't know where the boy is, like he isn't answering, and she starts thinking. So what can she say? What modal verb should we use here? He what? Again, your ideas? He has to be, could be, or he ought to be, like він мав би бути. So she expects him to do it. He ought to be at home by now. Він мав би бути вже дома. So when we use ought to, it's something that we expect should be done. Like we think it should be right. It's a good idea. That's the meaning of ought to be at home by now. Okay, he... What? Again, mention which number you're writing about. He should answer his mobile phone. Йому варто б відповісти. Він повинен би відповісти. So when we think something is a good idea, like here, we would use should. He should answer his mobile phone. Number 3. What about being at school? He can't still be at school, like she knows it's already evening, so she doesn't believe it's possible. He can't be at school now. Не може бути, щоб він ще був в школі. And the last one, his train must be in a tunnel. Мабуть, він зараз в тунелі в потязі. So she tries to find some solutions, and when she's pretty sure that that's the option, she says must. But if she's not that sure, she can say other words, which we will look at a bit later. So first of all, let's just speak in general about modal verbs, what they are. So first of all, the main rules. Modal verbs are followed by bare infinitive. So bare infinitive, it's the verb as you can see it in the dictionary, without to, just the verb in its neutral zero form. That's bare infinitive. Except for need, when it's used as a main verb. So with need, we have a bit different rule. But otherwise, it's bare infinitive after modal. Then, modal verbs have the same form in all persons. So we know that, for example, I read, but he reads. But if it's a modal verb, I can and he can. So no differences in forms. Again, except for need. I need, he needs. Then they form questions and negations or negative form without auxiliary verbs. So just remember, typically modal is auxiliary for itself, like модальне дієслово є допоміжнім само собі. So I can do something. Can I do something? We just move it to the beginning to make a question. I cannot, so we add not to can, and it becomes a negation. And they have several meanings and uses. So None of the modal verbs has just one meaning. Usually it's multiple. Тобто кожне з модальних дієслів має зазвичай декілька значень і відтінків. And now let's have a look at them. So for example here, when I say you shouldn't leave your dog alone at home, it's my idea of what is right. I give you some advice. Тобі не варто залишати. Or you should have answered the phone. Тобі слід було відповісти на дзвінок. So here I think it was a good idea, like you needed to do it in the past. Or we can say he needs to see the doctor. Йому треба до лікаря, because we see some necessity of it, необхідність. And she must call the plumber immediately. І вона повинна подзвонити, oh my god, I forgot the word, in Ukrainian, like the person who fixes everything in the bathroom, yeah, immediately. Okay, so here we think that's like the thing that needs to be done immediately again. Or your car needs to be repaired. Твоя машина потребує ремонту. Santechnik, I remember the word. Thank you, Diana. Okay, can he repair his car? So here we ask not about some necessity, but about the ability. Like, can he do it? Чи може він це зробити? And he cannot repair, like he doesn't know how to do it, maybe. And do you have to see the doctor? It's another way to ask the question. So here are different examples of modal verbs. Now we're gonna look at them in details. So the sentences and the rules. You have to match them. First, can you use a computer? So this can, what is it about? Can you use a computer? What's that? Your ideas? That's not possibility, можливість. Okay, so possibility, probability, ability, all of them can be translated as можливість. Let's find out the difference in English. So it's about ability, здатність. So it's like physical ability, фізична здатність якоїсь людини щось зробити. Yeah, so can you use a computer? Like, do you know how to work there? Ти вмієш на ньому працювати? That's the question. Or maybe it's about like the ability to do something at this very moment. For example, can you use a computer today? Like, do you have electricity? Do you have the internet? And so on. Number two, may I come in? So what is about may here? What does it mean? It's permission. Дозвіл. So we ask for permission. Ми запитуємо дозволу. And if the teacher says, yes, you may, so the teacher lets you come in, gives their permission, дає дозвіл. Okay, number three. There are plenty of flats available for rent. It should be easy enough to find a place to live. So this should, what is that? That's possibility. So it should be easy, like it shouldn't be hard. There is a high possibility to find a place to live. Тобто висока вірогідність. Possibility, here like можливість, вірогідність, висока вірогідність. Number four, John must be at the dentist's. He was complaining about a toothache. So John must be at the dentist. It's a probability. I'm not stating that he needs to go there. It's about where is John? Well, he must be at the dentist. Він, напевно, він має бути у стоматолога. So there is a high probability of him being there. Okay, next. She could have left her umbrella in the classroom. That is finally deduction. So here I know that deduction, probability, possibility, all of them are too close. But deduction, it's when you don't know for sure, you're just trying to think logically, like what could be the right choice based on some side signs or whatever. Yeah. And probability, it's when we speak about high chances of something. And number 6, could I have some coffee? So yeah, that's a request. We can use can or could to be more polite to request something. Okay, good. So then here we have different categories of modals. And when we speak about modals of permissions, тобто дозволу, we can use can, could, may, might in present. So instead of may, it's okay to say can about можна. Can I sit here? Yeah. Can I go with you? But it's pretty informal. If you want to be more polite, you would say, could I sit here, please? Yeah. Could I go with you, please? Чи міг би я з вами піти, будь ласка? So that's much more polite. And when we let or not do something, we say you may or you may not use this chair. So that's much more formal than just using can. So again, can in day-to-day life, but may is more formal, more bookish grammatical way of saying that. And when we speak about past, we use to be allowed to, like he wasn't allowed to come in. Йому не дозволили зайти. Or just simple couldn't for less formal way. Like he couldn't come in, йому не дозволили, він не міг зайти. And we have modals of obligation. So these show the need of something, like the rule of something. And typically we use must or have to. Here the difference is that when I say I must do something, it's my inner understanding that it's a good idea. Like I must give up smoking. I must study English because you know that you need it. But if you say I have to, that's something you don't want to do, but like some outer power forces you, змушує вас. So for example, oh my God, I have to do this task, but I hate it. Like я мушу зробити. Maybe because your mom asked you, or maybe because the teacher promised to put you very bad mark if you don't do it. So that's have to. And if there is something that is forbidden to do, заборонено, we typically say mustn't, заборонено. But if you say don't have to, it's like не зобов'язаний. So you still can do it, but it's not necessary. You don't have to join before 6 to our webinars. Ви не зобов'язані приєднуватися раніше 6. But at 6 we start, so it's better for you to join, right? So here we have modals of necessity, необхідності, and typically we use need or have to, speaking of them. For example, we need to or we have to do something before Friday, like there is a need of it. Or if there is no need, we can say you don't need to, you don't have to do it. There is a difference between don't need to and needn't, especially in the past. So when you say I don't need to do something, it's in general. I don't need to wear glasses because my vision is okay. But he doesn't need or he needn't do something. It's about some specific situation. So both work for specific, but don't need for general. And when we speak about past, we can say that you didn't need to do something or needn't have done something if you did it, but only you didn't need to if you didn't do it. So like here, you bought that bouquet, and we can say, oh, you didn't need to buy it, or you needn't have bought it. But if you didn't need to and you didn't do it because you knew it's not necessary, you just say didn't need to only. Okay, so then we have one more very interesting part about models of deduction, but I think I will try to put it somehow into our next presentation and hope that it will work there. For now, I suggest we just sum up with doing this. So first of all, I have prepared additional tasks for modal verbs. You have this link pinned in your comments. So you can check it later, you can practice those tasks. And as always, let's have a look at tricky questions here. So let's try. If a government forbids citizens to gather in public places, does it violate freedom of assembly? Yes or no? If a government forbids citizens to gather in public places, does it violate freedom of assembly? Yeah, for sure. Okay, number 2. Can we describe a car as economic? Number 2. No, it could be economical, ekonomna, but not economic, ekonomichna, probably. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Diana. Number 3. Treason is the crime of deliberately setting fire to something. Number 3. Yes or no? No, that one is called arson and treason, zrada. Number 4. Can we use the preposition of with phrases like suspected, accused, found guilty? So what is number 4? Yes, for sure. So suspected, підозрюваний, of something в чомусь, accused, звинувачений, and found guilty, винний у чомусь. So 3 stages of having issues with the law. Number 5. Can every accident be called an incident? Yes, we need those prepositions, right? So number 5, is every accident an incident? Actually, yeah. Like incident, it's any negative situation, while accident, it's more like авария there. So every accident, кожна авария, it's an incident. Like we had an incident on the street, there was a car accident. And number 6, so check the sentence, is it correct? I don't believe you, it mustn't be true. So what should we use instead? I don't believe you. Це не може бути правдою. How to say it? It can't be true. All right. So that's it for today. As I promised, first of all, you have extra modal verbs practice. And yeah, Diana, thank you. And let's agree that as you promised additional tasks for prepositions, just open the comments of this YouTube video, like not the comments of our webinar online, but right after it, I will add the links there, okay? Or if that wouldn't work, I will add them at our next webinar at the very beginning, okay? So I hope we agreed. Thank you for today's meeting. It was really nice to work with you again. Bye-bye.